So I'm in Caerphilly shop, guys. The guy moved his car for me. He was quite polite about it. He only lives up the road and he was filling it with stuff for the tip anyway. So he said, I'll move now for you. But the problem we've got is, obviously, we're saying we got customer rear access for parking and dropping off. And we can't, well, I couldn't get out here till 10 o'clock last night because some idiot had parked their car up there. At 10:30 I actually left, but the police shifted him. Parked the car and gone. Right, and then her garage door, couldn't get out because I can't lift it and I can't drive over it. So I was stuck here till 10:30 last night when I was looking to close at 8 o'clock. So, you know, you need to stop parking on that lane. Hence, that's why we're going to start clamping people, because it's getting ridiculous now. And you're also damaging our business because we are stating we got free customer parking and they can't get in here because of it. So we're going to start sending out bills as well, because I'm going to work out what the average rate is for a trade-in, that we can say that, well, we've lost this amount of fundraising because you have impeded our business in some shape, form or way. So it'll be like a standard rate per area, because that would be the legal professional way how to do it, you know. So I might need to get somebody else in to do that, to look at the books and say, well, you would have taken £66.32 in that time period. So it's reasonably and fairly adequate to say, if somebody's parked there for 3 hours and you can't access your business, you can charge them 3 times £66.32 an hour because they've impeded your business. That's the plan. Anyway, another story time with Jayne now. We're going to story. This really gets me down, this too, because it got my mother down. So it's a little story about my mother. And if you know anything about my family, you know we're lovely. I am a mega bitch. I'll be honest with you. I don't care. I am ruthless. I am a mega bitch. Okay? I will fight for people's rights till the death. Right? I don't care. I've had to fight for my rights all my life. I've had to put up with these bullies, same bullies. This same little group of bullies have been bullying me for a very long time before I set up the baby bank. But that's some information that we haven't disclosed, because there's some information there that I'm waiting until we go to court with them. It's very court-themed week, this, isn't it? Anyway, so a little story time now that involves my mother. And if you know my family are lovely, okay? But if my family got a problem, they come to me because they know I'll sort it. So my mum was a caretaker for years, okay? And she worked in a school and she loved it. She was there. She wasn't there for the job. She was there for the kids, you know. She used to take part in all the she used to run the gardening club. She used to do a lot of things, okay? A lot of things that other people couldn't be bothered with. You know, if you had a child that was back and forth the loo and stuff like that, and the teachers didn't have time, she'd stay there with them. You know, a child that was upset or something, or, you know, needed extra time, my mother would stay there. My mother taught a lot of children to tie their shoelaces. She taught them a lot of things. She might have only been a caretaker, but there we are. You know, she's also a registered childminder, but she never did any childminding because she got ill, unfortunately. She actually broke her leg in work, and then they finished her off. And she was absolutely heartbroken, and they just finished her off. And she was, like, gutted. So anyway, my mother had a complaint off one of the cleaners one day about all the best teacher staff at the end of term being chucked in the bin. And they felt it was disgusting. So my mother thought it was disgusting as well, that the teachers were chucking all these little gifts that you buy, the mothers buy, in the bin. Now, I appreciate that teachers might get 30 of these every year. So my mother approached the headmaster and said, this is very upsetting, especially when it's handmade gifts as well. She said, it's upsetting, like, you know, don't just, you know, they took the wine and chucked the gifts in the bin, right? And she said, this is upsetting, you know, for me and the staff to watch this, especially when it's handmade gifts and cards. I mean, have the decency, put it in your own bin, like, in a, what if a child had forgotten their bag or their pencil case or their glasses and come back into the school and then seen their gift in the bin, right? Anyway, the headmaster said, no, bin it. And she said, well, I'm not happy with that. She said, because we are, you know, big on recycling in our family. We always have been, make, do, mend, fix, you know, recycle. repurpose, reuse. She said, I'm not happy with it. You know, this is upset the staff. The staff are upset, you know. And she said, can I put it in the fate stuff, ready for the fate, and then a mother can come in and buy it and then re-gift it next year, and it can go back in the fate stuff and re-gift it the following year, you know. And he said no, because a parent or a child might identify it, and then it would create a drama for the school. So please, 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 you know, think before you buy these gifts. And I'm not coming for all the teachers out there, because not all the teachers do it. Some of the teachers love their staff. When I was a classroom assistant, I still got all my stuff now. Any paintings the kids did for me, I got them all. I mean, I worked in a special needs unit, resource base for children with autistic spectrum disorder and behavioural problems. A lot of my artwork will probably be priceless in the next 25 years when they become artists, recognised artists. But this is upsetting, and I appreciate that a teacher has given this now. This has come in from a donation from a charity shop. This hasn't come in to us. Somebody from a charity shop has said, oh, we don't want all of this, you have it. Which I appreciate, right? And I appreciate the fact that a teacher's tried to recycle it. But just think before you go out of your way, because these ain't cheap. They're not cheap at all, these things. And this wouldn't be. I think it's a book cover or a Kindle cover or something, because I was like, oh, what's this? This is lovely. I don't know whether it's been well, it looks handmade at some point, doesn't it? Somebody's made it at some point. I don't know whether it's a book cover or a diary cover, maybe. You know, like the nurses, they have the diary covers, don't they? And the midwives and all. I don't know what it is. It's very nice anyway. It's lovely. I mean, you could use it for anything. You could use it for a pan roast, couldn't you? You don't need to use it for anything you like. You haven't got to use it for the purpose. That's what recycling and purposing is all about. Somebody might use that just as a slate heart, isn't it? They don't need to have that bit. They might paint over it. They might paint over this little sign. I know Ellie takes a lot of these little signages home, and she paints them for us, and, you know, does things, and for the wider community, not just us, because she just say, oh, so-and-so wants a sign. I say, oh, go and get a canvas from downstairs. Paint the sign on the canvas for such and such a business, such and such a group, you know. But just, I'm actually going to gift this out as a teacher bundle, and I think I will be in honour of my mother and her staff that were the cleaning staff that put a lot of work into cleaning the schools. Very unrecognised staff, you know. I mean, maybe buy a gift for the cleaner instead. You know, maybe buy a gift for the dinner lady instead, rather than, you know, that would really, really appreciate it, that don't get a lot of gifts. Another thing that happened was the same cleaner that came across this, that worked for my mum for a lot of years, you know, 10, 15 years. She got gifted a box of chocolates off one of the teachers. Oh, thank you very much. Very kind of you. It was wrapped, you know. Thank you very much. Do appreciate it. And then when she turned it over, the gift tag was still on the bottom to Mrs. Price. Merry Christmas from such and such a child. She hadn't even taken the gift tag off. I'm all for regifting, and if somebody said to me, oh, I mean, I love these yesterday when they come in, there was 2 of these, and if somebody said to me, I got this second hand or free and thought of you, and I'd be like, oh, I love it. I love that more than somebody going out paying 50 quid for something for me, right? Because I'm like, that's a really, really thoughtful gift. But when these children are buying you gifts in a school and a setting where they, you know, that's their secondary home, that's their secondary safe space, yeah, then they're putting a lot of effort into that for you. They're putting, you know, they're saying, Mum, I want to buy something. And mums can't afford to buy this shit, right? This shit and all the rest of it. And the child has gone and picked this up for you. Have a bit of respect with what you're doing with it afterwards. And how that child has bought you something. So anyway, I'm going to gift this out as a bundle. What have we got? We've got that, that. And the little bag was in the bag with it. I don't know if that's a teacher bag, but it probably is. Anyway, we'll do that as a bundle. We'll do it as a free raffle for one of the mothers. If you want it, you can have it and then gift it out to these teachers that will just recycle it. And it's not every teacher. I am fully aware that teachers, you know, trouble is with some of these teachers, they never grow up, leave school and get a real job, so they stay in that mentality all their life of being in school. But that's not all teachers. Some teachers are very good. Some teachers change children's lives, but not all of them. So yeah, I'm going to gift this out in a bundle. So if you want it, you can have it, and we'll do it like a raffle system with a number, and then put it away and give it to the teachers next year, vice versa. Or split it between you and your friend so that you've got 2 items, they've got 4, to save mum's money, because, you know, mum's really struggling out there. You know, they can't afford to get their hair done, they can't afford to get their nails done anymore, they can't afford to get shopping in, they can't afford nappies, they can't afford formula. Formula is a ridiculous price, it should be price capped. And yeah, you know, they're accessing food banks and things like that. You know, there's like, I think it was like 6 out of 10 children access food banks on a regular basis, some sort of figure, I don't know where from. And then they're scraping their pennies together to buy stuff for you because their child wants to gift you something as their secondary safe space carer and teacher. And then it's just getting chucked in charity shops, chucked in the bins, and disregarded, unless it's a bottle of wine, because my mother never found a bottle of wine in any of the bins, but this was a regular occurrence, and it used to upset the cleaning staff and my mother greatly. And my mother was also sworn not to say anything about it. And while I was in employment, I was also sworn that I was not to say anything about this meeting. Obviously, I'm not employed there anymore. I can say what I like, and I usually do. So yeah, there we are. That's my story time for today, guys. You know, and this is something that goes on across the UK. You know, we've just had that. I mean, I love that little thing. I think it's lovely. You know, but this is, you know, again, unwanted, unnecessary tat, isn't it? Or maybe buy them something consumable, because at least then you know someone somewhere's going to eat it or drink it. I wouldn't buy them a bottle of wine, but there we are. There we are, innit, guys? There we go. Be careful who you support. Be careful what you spend your money on, guys. You know, we appreciate every single person that donates to us. And yesterday I put a bag of free stuff out the front because it was marked, it was damaged. The jeans had paint all over them. I put it out the front and said free bag, and somebody said, oh, can I have this free bag? I said, yeah, as long as you don't discard it. Oh, yeah, no problem. She said, anything I don't use, I will regift online. I said, oh, no problem, do that. You know, because for us, it's not just about the integrity, it's about the recycling. So I will get this together now, and then we'll do a raffle, and then I think if we've got any more teacher staff, if they can pool it together in the schools, pool it straight back into school. That's the trouble when you work in education, straight back in that corridor. Then if we've got any in our shops, can we like pool it together so that we can get re-gifted back out to families to try and save money? Because, you know, start of the summer holidays, they're trying to get money together to buy you a gift that you disregard. You know, when they've got to buy food for all over the holidays for the kids, provide entertainment. You know, I mean, some people have had to put the heating on this summer. It's been blooming freezing out there. You know, food. You know, how can you say to your child when the ice cream van's coming around, no, I can't afford £4 for an ice cream? You know, no, I can't afford a McDonald's. No, I can't afford for you to go here. No, I can't. But then you've got to pay £3, £5, £6, £7 on tat for a teacher that they're just going to disregard afterwards. So any teacher stuff from now on, guys, pool it together and we will re-gift to help the mums out. Oh, hang on. I nearly lost my live then. Slow connection. Cold in here this morning.